You have a son?
Yes.
Grows up and says, forget about engineering. He'd like to be an officer.
Oh.
Now, as his primary career.
Okay, kind of steer her away from that. No, I'm just kidding.
No, is this something you would encourage?
I would encourage that. I would be behind her. I'd be very supportive, and it's a very honorable job. He's putting back into society. He's helping society. Right. Sure, he can, whatever he inspires to do, I will be behind him.
And that's great. And now your wife, you said, was also an officer.
Yes, she was.
Right.
She was a very good police officer.
Was that where you met?
That's where we met in the academy back in 1992, and we got married in 1995. So it's been 8 years.
That's
eight wonderful years.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And we seem to be running out of time, and certainly I would agree with you. We need role models in all the different professions, and I think it's great that you would actually be supportive, you know, because I speak to people who are in certain careers, but they wouldn't necessarily encourage their own kids to pursue those careers. Right. But I have a feeling you're going to have a son that's going to say to you, I'd like to be an engineer.
Of course, it's going to come back to me. I know it. But yes.
And you're going to say, no, don't you really want to be a policeman? Right?
No, I will be behind him for whatever he chooses.
That's
and I will
great.
be very proud of what he chooses.
That's great.
So,
that's a wonderful way to be. We seem to be running short of time.
Okay.
So thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
We'll return in just a few minutes. We'll be breaking for a short, we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
To be a mentor, you don't have to have all the answers.
Interesting. You hungry?
Yeah.
You just have to be yourself, which, by the way, is pretty good. Do good. Mentor a child. Call 1-877-BE-A-MENTOR.
While walking in a toy store the day before today, I overheard a crayon box with many things to say.
I don't like red, said Yellow, and Green said, nor do I. And no one here likes orange, but no one knows just why.
Well, I bought that box of crayons and took it home with me and drew with all the colors so the crayons could all see.
That each of us is special and everyone's unique, but it's when we get together that the picture is complete.
Back to Ginny's, where East meets West. Name a community activity, and chances are my next guest will be there in some leadership role as a college trustee, chair of the Governor's Advisory Commission on Asian and Pacific Islander Affairs, the past national president of OCA, or coordinator of an alliance for Asian American leaders in the Washington, D.C. area. Meet the ultimate volunteer, Michael Lin. Michael, where do you find the time to do all of these crazy volunteer activities?
Well, none of us really have enough time to do all the things we want to do. But I guess if it's important enough, you somehow make time. And it does consume all my spare time. And of course, on top of that, I have to make a living.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Well, unfortunately. And I take my full-time job very seriously. But it does get in the way sometimes.
It gets in the way of all this volunteering you could be doing, right? You know, if you were paid for all the volunteer hours that you put in, you'd be a rich man, wouldn't you?
I probably wouldn't be sitting here. I'm doing something.
You'd be on Oprah rather than on this show.
No, it's a great pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you. Now, in your paid job, you know, the job that puts food on the table, what are you?
I work for National Institutes of Health. Which
Who doesn't?
Yeah, it's a biomedical funding agency, as you know. My responsibility there basically identified emerging area of biomedical research, specifically high blood pressure. research and trying to make sure there's mechanism and money to support that. So where I have the pleasure of giving out money.
That's
It's
great.
a great job.
And have you always had the pleasure of giving out money? Because you
No.
were actually in research, right?
Prior to that, I was in basic research. But I must say, those are the golden era of my
Yeah.
professional career.
Now tell me, thinking back, were there anything that took place in your research career that really sticks in your mind as memorable?
Yes, as I look back, I had the fortune of working for 4 people who went on to win the Nobel Prize. As you know, that's the highest honor that you can ever had
Yeah.
in biomedical research. And my research was described in their lecture when they received their Nobel Prize. So my work is in the history. So
Didn't
it's
you
a
mention
pleasure.
to me something about the involvement in the production of Equal or the artificial sugar?
Oh, yes.
Were
When
you,
first-
were you
when-
instrumental in?
No, but when it first came out, it's sent to our laboratory to test, make sure the composition is correct. So we are among the first to taste it, and it tastes good. It tastes okay.
Why is it important for Asian Americans to volunteer and to get involved in civic activities? Because obviously, with all the things that you do, you feel it's important.
Right. Well, I guess the bottom line is that we need to be at the table. Otherwise, decisions going to be made for us.